Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. For those who are new here, my name is Maurice Jr. What we do here on Inspire to Cultivate, we pretty much help people stay connected to their dreams and goals. Most importantly, we be sure to have people be confident about themselves and, continue to stay energized and, build motivation, different things of that nature. Today, we have a special guest here. One of the people that I really pay attention to when it comes to business endeavors, not only business endeavors, actually how they actually move throughout the College of IT. And when I say the College of IT, meaning, it's someone that I work with at the University of Western Governors University. And long story short, Paige. Paige is her name. Paige, if you want to take about 2 or 3 minutes, kind of just introduce yourself, kind of like what you have going on, and then we'll dive into our conversation from there.
Currently I work with Maurice at Western Governors University as a program mentor, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. My passion, my life is food, how we take care of ourselves with food, how we heal ourselves with food. So my main mission is generational health. I want to teach people how to shop, eat, and feed themselves so they can pass that along.
Whoa,
Um,
whoa!
and so
I gotta ask you that real quick because I know you about to go on. I never heard that term, generational health.
yeah, like generational wealth, generational health.
Really? Tell me about generational health. I never heard of it. Is it more so like changing? If you got a history of diabetes, you want to make sure you change it so it's not passed on through the genes.
I'm glad you made that point. A history of diabetes. Diseases are not passed down. Eating habits are passed down. So
Really?
if your grandfather ate a certain way, you're most likely going to eat that way. You're most likely going to inherit those diseases. That's why they ask about family history. It's not because I have a diabetes DNA piece in it. No, it's not.
Ah,
So if I can interject with your generation right now and you have kids and I
yeah.
can change the complete way you eat, which would be a transitional thing, but it would take a while, you then learn how to feed yourself and take care of your body at your age. You then pass that along to your children to the point where not that we get rid of our roots, but we utilize those same foods and those same ideas, but we use them in a healthier way. Do you want
Whoa.
me to keep going?
No. No. That's a good example because maybe I am grossly mistaken, but this is what I thought. We all have certain type of DNA. Not only do we have a certain type of DNA, we have cells that's dormant, that lay dormant in our body. And based on what we eat, I feel like those cells are then activated because I feel like some of it is passed down through the genes, but through you and hearing your example, it totally makes sense because eating certain foods is definitely going to it's just going to cause those habits that you actually learn, those norms or those values that you learn from your parents or different individuals. It makes sense now. It makes sense. Okay. So man, I didn't mean to cut you off during your intro. Okay, dropping gems early. All right,
Oh,
so
we sorry. Intro. I would have
yeah,
kept going. Sorry.
yeah. So all right, so Paige, we work together. Not only do we work together, Paige just mentioned that she actually has a business, and not only do she has a business there, it's centered around health. Um, I'll just dive straight into it. What made you focus on health? What happened? You just woke up one day and said, you know what, I'm gonna change the way I eat. What happened, or what triggered, or did you see something like did you get sick from the common cold and was like, I don't want to eat soup, I want to make an alternative? What happened?
It didn't start off health. It started off with food. So I grew up in a family that grew their own food, made their own food. They put their hands in everything they made. And I realized that side of the family was a lot more healthy than the side
Ah,
of convenience and was like um fast food and the whole convenience thing and not really putting their hands in their food and understanding it. Um, And then my mom I was a latchkey kid, so I would go home after school alone and I would have to figure out how to eat. And I hated like Chef Boyardee and Toastine. I hated baked and quick food. So I started learning how to cook. I
Hmm.
almost burned the kitchen like 7 times. Okay, so that's where it, right? That's where
Yeah.
it started. Just that I don't want to eat this. And
Hmm.
then my mom, certain industries where we would eat well. She traveled me a good amount and we would eat in nice restaurants. And I'm like, God, it has to be something better than this. So as I got older, I build my repertoire like of flavors
Yeah.
with eating. So when I got older, so I spent my 20s traveling, eating, everything from every culture. I had friends in my first job. I had friends from different ethnicities, so I would eat. And then it went from, all right, it's nice to eat fancy and take pictures. It's nice to cook this stuff, but what is the purpose? Like, where is the purpose in this? And I realized that most of my elders were like prisoners of their body, of their ailments.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't go be mobile, move around because they either had diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer. So they were living, but they weren't thriving.
Hmm.
And I knew that, like, oh, I think it was some documentary where it was like this area in Japan had the oldest population per capita.
Hmm.
And I examined the diet of Asian people and I was like, they eat a lot of fresh vegetables. And it's just, you think of something, you research it because there's plenty of research. And
Yeah.
I was like, for the last few years, I've been trying to find like where I like sit. And I
Yeah.
realized that I care about people, Black people specifically, understanding that the way we used to eat was because out of necessity, we didn't have a choice but to eat that way because we got the
Mm.
crap or the trash.
Yeah.
We know we have access to everything now. So now
Hmm.
we can be the captain of our diets and of our
Hmm.
health. And so that's where it ended up being. So
No, that was a very thorough response. I want to go back and circle around something. You said you used to get off from school and you coined a certain phrase. What kind of child you called yourself?
latchkey kid.
Really? I never heard that term. I never heard that term. Another
We
thing you
used to like
now go ahead. You said we're using a lot. I'm not from Atlanta. I'm
I
not.
know here.
Yeah, I'm foreign, so I don't know the jargon yet. I'm still getting used to it. The second thing that stood out there is like you said, you went out and not only research, you paid attention to a specific demographic when it comes to because you you hardly ever see obese people who are from Japan. I'm be honest with you, it's very rare unless they're in sumo wrestling, different things of that nature. They're purposely doing it so for that craft there. But that's a great call out there. And let me ask you this: as as you begin to do research and look at the data and different things of that nature, what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna focus on Black and brown people before I actually scale and focus on other groups outside of our culture?
I feel like we're underserved with healthcare. You know what? It's always a story. I have a son, and he was in 5th grade, and he goes to elementary school on the other side of town. I live in a historically Black West Side neighborhood, but he goes to school in another district.
Mhm.
Um, he was doing a project, and it was about something about eating habits. But he had this one statement he had to read, and it said, Black and brown Americans are more affected by diabetes and high blood pressure um, because of terrible diet. Something that he said, and it was like it pointed out like, oh, it pointed out areas in the city where those people live. Bankhead, this and that. I said, do you
What?
realize you live?
They had the demographics pointed out?
I said, do
Wow.
you really live here? And I said, wow, okay. I said, this statement leaves out so much. I said, Black and brown people don't have access to healthcare. They don't have the wealth and the money to go uh, have a dietitian or a nutritionist.
Exactly.
And the grocery stores on their side of town don't have the selection if there is a grocery store.
Yeah.
Most Black neighborhoods are food deserts. And on the other side of town is a food oasis. So
Yeah.
if I'm already I don't make great money. I don't have transportation, so I use public transportation. Do you think I am even thinking to go all the way across town and grocery shop? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right here, and it has a small selection. So I feel like my people needed this information. These
Hmm.
other people, and they have access to the solutions. We don't. We have to
Yeah.
find, and I feel like a lot of research and stats are based on and diets that aren't African American. Like the recommendations have ingredients and things that African Americans never heard of.
Exactly.
So I hand you this manual when you leave the hospital for open heart surgery, and I say, hey, eat this away, and you're gonna have a dietitian who calls you on the phone who knows nothing about you and your history, and then they're gonna tell you what to do from the phone. And it's just up to you now to take care of this new heart. That's not fair. I don't think
Wow.
that's
Wow. I love the story and just the rebuttal when it comes to how you got started. Something that came to mind is, let me think through this page. So a lot of us, I'll say this: a lot of people are in survival mode, and like
mm-hmm.
you stated, they're already thinking, okay, I gotta get off of work. How can I have? Let's just take a typical day. You gave a very thorough background saying, hey, I send my child to school, I go to work 9 to 5, I come home. Not only do I come home, I have a small selection of what I can do. It won't be, live or different things of that nature. So I'll start with myself. We'll go to school, my mom will come back, and we was on WIC. At that time, WIC is considered, they give you the king vitamin cereal. Well, that's how I was in Ohio. I don't know how I was in Georgia. Y'all probably had a little bit better, man. We ain't have fresh produce and different things of that nature. So long story short, my mom, we would have WIC, different things of that nature. However, I don't even think she was thinking on that level when it comes to us consuming different things of that nature. So I guess for someone on the outside, now that we're not in the picture and we can actually look at the frame, how do you get people to have that transformational mindset when it comes to their diet and then what they're actually taking in if they're constantly in survival mode when it comes to their top priorities? What is it? What is his name? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When they're thinking about food, shelter, how they're going to get to work and different things of that nature. How do you get people to have that transformation, mindset? How you get them to buy in?
It has to be a holistic approach. So
Mm,
people love free things, right?
mm,
So let's say with the WIC program,
mm,
in addition to us giving you these free fruits and vegetables, because now that's a requirement with WIC and sometimes, well, not food stamps, but with WIC you have to get a certain amount of fresh vegetables. Not only
nice.
are you going to those, but now you're going to have maybe people who are chefs
Mm-hmm,
on a volunteer basis come into your home.
mm-hmm,
You need education and presentation. So now I'm going to teach you why it's not okay to have that and why you should have less of that and why you should have more of this. Not only am I going to teach you, I'm going to show you how to make it. And it's going to have to be like an 8-week thing. This isn't something that happens quickly.
right.
People who try are like setting themselves up to fail.
Yeah.
But another day. So I take you through a program where you getting the food for free. You know how to pick it up. You know how to get it. All right. Now you need to know why it's important. You need to know what it does in your body, and you need to know how to cook it. And you need to transition your taste buds to like it. It's like food coaching. Like you need
Yeah.
someone to house with you and literally show you before you can take it on. Because I just feel like there's a lot of education, but application, if I have no idea, I have no idea, even if I have no idea to research or look it up. Like
That's true. That's true.
education goes away.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Because I want.
I have no idea how to even do that outside of eating these salads. That's the only thing I know that's healthy.
That's true. I promise you that's true because when I first started my health journey, I started with what did I start with, Paige? I started off with eating salads, like you said, working out,
Uh-huh.
different things of that nature. Not only when I started working out, doing that stuff, I was like, this ain't working. So I went to herbal life. I went the herbal life approach. It worked for like 5, 7 days. And like you said, it's a diet, and I'm not knocking Herbalife or anything of that nature. It works for people. However, for me, I was like, this is not going to work. So I had to do the whole transformation. Went to vegetarian lifestyle, and that's when I started seeing results because I started researching. Not only researching, I started to really apply okay, I'm not going to eat this at all. I stopped eating meat, period. But what I started to do is focus on, I like spicy food. So let me make sure that when I'm getting this, I'm adding more pepper or whatever this is, like natural ingredients. And it still tastes like I'm eating the regular foods. Like, so you're not missing out on anything.
Mhm.
It's like a psychological thing there. But I want to go back to, you said something around diets, and you said, hey, Maurice, is this whole holistic approach is an 8 week format, initially to start off. After 21 days, something becomes a habit. And I love the fact that after the 21 days, you continue to let them practice and get everything under control. Like, furthermore, is making sure that there is concrete, because some people may relapse to different things of that nature. But if you're doing something for 60 days, oh my, you're locked in. You definitely gonna see the results. Not only are you gonna see the results, you're actually gonna be more receptible. As receptible, you're gonna be more. You're gonna be more. You're gonna be more open to more coaching in the future, especially when you get into that intermediate level. That's good stuff there. That's good stuff. Um, Knowing that you have this background and this vast knowledge of the health industry and this health foods and different things of that nature, I'm pretty sure you are real big on how people are shopping, because a lot of people say it's too expensive to eat healthier. And I agree. It depends. If you go into a restaurant and you want to buy something healthy, of course they're going to, gouge the prices and different things of that nature. They're going to upsell that the healthy stuff versus you getting a dollar hamburger or chicken sandwich that's, not real chicken, different things of that nature. Do you actually provide certain, like, not GMO, because you don't want GMO products. I know you want more so the healthy products. How do you get them to buy in when it comes to the shopping and being able to invest in themselves when it comes to the pricing, different things of that nature?
Um, so
Or do you do it for them? Do you
I
do it for them in your package?
you do it for them, but you can't do it for them for the rest of their lives.
Got
And
it.
that's the holistic thing. It's like, I'm going to teach you all of this. So when I
Got it.
walk away, you're comfortable enough to buy, prep, enjoy, and continue the same thing. Um,
It's dope.
Remember I said something about Japanese people?
Yeah.
I've been shopping at Asian supermarkets, and this isn't available to everyone everywhere. But in large cities, foreigners shop in their own stores.
Yep.
And all of their produce is 40% lower than anywhere else you go. Whole Foods is a scam. It's super expensive. Publix is super expensive. Kroger is not, but their quality isn't great. Um, so I'll go to like a H Mart, a Namde Moon. And if all else fails, go to the regular grocery store and only go in the grain aisle, the
Hmm.
meat aisle, and the vegetable area.
Really.
When
Really.
you go in those big grocery stores, most of the stuff that's expensive is the processed stuff.
Yep.
Fruits and vegetables aren't expensive. I think people just say, "Oh, if I buy a bunch of lettuce for $4, I'm not going to get as full as if I buy 2 bags of potato chips." But you're
Mm.
investing in your health. So
Hmm.
like whatever money you're not spending on the right foods now, you'll be spending it later on medication and healthcare costs.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a trade-off, and it's like go ahead and take care of your body now because you don't get a
Yeah.
new body.
Great call outs. Great call outs. Something that stood out there is, I know in Chicago, like you said, those big cities, that definitely holds value there. When we used to shop, we went to the Mexicans neighborhood, and not only did we go to the Mexicans neighborhood, they had the fresh produce. They had the
Mhm.
guavas and the fruits and all that kind of stuff at a severely deep discount, man. And they, man, that's true. That's true there. That's true. Let me ask you this: when it came to starting your business overall, what what was the entry to barrier? Like, how did you get started? Give a background for, if what how did you build value? How did you get people? How did your name get out there? Different things of that nature. Like, how did it start? Humble beginnings. You just started with everyone in the family. Family began to tell friends. Friends started to see the weight loss and started to see the journey. That's pretty much how it went.
I didn't even start off with the healthy thing. I started off catering.
Really.
And then I like with me, everything is a test until I'm all the way in the groove. So
Got it.
started off catering, did it for a while, and I was like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't work. I saw that people weren't cooking and
Yeah.
they were buying out. So I started meal prepping. And this is before meal prepping was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what did the, what is that? What are those ingredients? What are you cooking?
Mm.
Why is it only this much? Why is it only that much? And so that's where I started with, well, I like cooking for people, but I don't want to feed y'all trash. And I'm not going to cook like your aunties, not making it. So here's what I have. And this is for people who are, it was for people who are already where you were, trying to diet, trying to
Yeah.
do better. But then I'm leaving out
Okay.
a whole bunch of people, the people who don't even think about all you got to do is cut out sugar
Yeah.
or drink, just sodas. All you gotta do is cut out sodas, and all of that weight that doctor's been telling you lose 3 years will fall off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving out those people. So I've been scooting and moving, and the next thing I want to launch is what we talked about with the holistic program. I want
Dope.
to start a line of, I love pickling and canning, and so I want to start a line of those type of things because I can go. I don't even know why. Um, Fermented and pickled things provide gut health, right?
Really?
And your gut health, yeah, like kimchi and sauerkrauts and all that, those are probiotics.
Mm-hmm.
And probiotics are needed to feed the microbiome,
Yep.
the good bacteria.
Yeah.
Your gut health is like mental health, physical, it's everything. This is your
Yeah.
second mind. So I want to kind of do that. And then like I have a whole concept I'm trying to push. I'm taking my time. I did learn that from lunch in one business. Let me take my time and build a good foundation. And I had to go educate myself. So I'm finishing. I'm sorry, this keeps falling. I'm
It's fine.
finishing a diploma program in food science and nutrition. And
Dope.
so it's like, let me get all of these facts, and then apply it to Black people. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay, and apply it to Black people and then run with that because there are a lot of dietitians, there are a lot of nutritionists, and I know even though they're Black, they know that a lot of that stuff is whitewash research. Like it doesn't necessarily apply to us.
Yep.
So
That's ironic you say that. That's ironic you say that. My mom has I don't know what she has, man, but it's when the bones are weak. Is it cirrhosis or something? I don't know the correct acronym for it.
I,
But anyway, I think yeah, something like that. But we were having a discussion today, and I told her I said, Mom, I'm gonna send you some sea moss, some gummies, these new ones I just tried. So she like, I gotta ask my doctor because I don't want my doctor to see
yeah,
that in my blood and different things. And I said, Mom, they want you to come back. You're a walking contract, and they're gonna have you come back. They're not gonna heal you, different things of that nature. But the reason why I brought that up is because it's hard to get family members to buy in. I'm really excited that you were able to, because it goes against everything that you hear when it comes to Black and brown families and launching business, and friends and family don't support. Initially, anytime you launch a business, friends and family are the last to, jump on board.
yep.
But it sounds like you did a reverse, and just knowing you and your character, it was easy for them to buy in there. So this is good stuff. Take me back to the pickle thing. The reason why I asked about the pickle thing is because my brother, he used to work with I want to say her name is Candy. Candy from Love and Hip Hop. She used to have a pickle
Mhm.
farm down here, and she used to have he. Long story short, he gifted me something from her farm when he used to work for him. It was like small pickles with different flavors, different things of that nature, and it was actually good. I promise you, it was good. And I don't even like pickles, man, but it was flavored well, different things of that nature. And he echoed your same comments on how it was a probiotic and different things of that nature. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. This was early on when I was dismissing everything. That's when I ain't know no better. But tell me more about the healthy gut bacteria and the bad different things of that nature. How are you able to keep that clean, man? Because I got about at least 25 pounds I'm trying to get rid of, and I will if you're looking for some test individuals, early on, I'll do it for free.
Let me make a comment about the doctor thing you said with your mom. So
Yeah.
something else I learned from Japanese. In Japan, the doctors get paid when you're well, when you get well. In
Mm,
America, the doctors get paid every time you come in here sick.
yeah.
Doctors here don't treat the root of the problem. They treat the symptoms.
Ooh, I like that. Say that again for the people in the back. Hold on. Say that again for the people in the back.
Doctors here treat the symptoms and not the actual root of the problem. And so, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry about
That
that.
happened. You're fine. And so doctors here also don't study food as medicine. Like they don't even have they probably do now, but the doctors that
Nah,
are
they
in
don't.
play have an area where food was a part of
Yeah.
healing. So, I had a doctor. She's a holistic doctor. I looked all over the place for her, and she's a Black woman. I make all my doctors Black, all my kids' doctors Black.
Mm-hmm.
She for 4 years kept saying I would have really depressive states every time around this year. I would gain weight, lose weight, and she said, you need to take some probiotics. You need to treat your gut. Your gut. She's been talking to me about my gut for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years ago, I was like, oh, okay, nothing else is working.
Mm-hmm.
Probiotics were so expensive. A bottle, $40, $50.
Mm-hmm.
We can't afford that.
Right.
We can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them. I would take them. Get my vitamin D levels were always low. Black people, our vitamin D levels are always 25% lower than everyone else in the United States. Black people, not Black and brown, Black.
Right.
So I said, what? I started looking for probiotic foods because medicine is expensive. Anything in a pill form is expensive. So then my dad, like I grew up in a family, he eats sauerkraut and certain things, and I didn't know he had been eating it for years.
Mm-hmm.
He's the person who always get high cholesterol or something, and then he changed his diet. He wouldn't take medicine, he would change his diet. And that growing up, I guess it stuck inside of me, not knowing. I had a Korean friend, and his mom used to make kimchi constantly. It was stinky, and it would just sit in this thing out of the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
So it grew bacteria, just like kombucha. It's bacteria, and it's good bacteria. So when you put it in your gut, it makes your microbiome thrive, right? Thrives. Processed foods, sugar, all of that stuff throws the whole microbiome off. So you're killing good bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
Antibiotics kill good bacteria. So when you take antibiotics from the doctor, all that is doing is lowering your immune system, killing whatever virus you have, but slowly lowering your immune system so that you have to keep coming to get antibiotics.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, the latest pickle I made was a watermelon rind pickle, and that was a few weeks ago because the watermelons were going out of season. So in my family, we pickled things that were going out of season and we still wanted to enjoy them, or we canned them, or we made sauces, but no food went to waste.
Mm-hmm.
So
pickle as and put it in a jar. I thought you were talking about regular pickles.
no, so pickling
Don't tell
is
nobody. I do that, but I did.
pickles, yes, sliced cucumbers.
Oh, don't tell nobody.
I pickle tomatoes, green tomatoes. I pickle peppers, watermelon rinds, okra. I pickle everything, and you get all of the nutrients and vitamins because this food isn't cooked.
Right.
Usually bland, or you leave it raw and slice it and warm up the pickling liquid and on there. So you're getting full nutrition, and it tops anything you cook, and you top it with some pickled peppers or something. It's gonna hit. People will be like, "Oh my god!" Like, what is this?
How do you well, let me ask you this, because I know you said if you go to a regular market, go to the grain aisle, and when you get to the meats, different things of nature, how do you teach people to stay away from certain meats or certain cuts of meat or different things of that nature?
I don't demonize any meats. No pork. I eat pork. I ate some today. I eat everything is about moderation.
Got it.
So in a day, I try to live by no more than 4 ounces of meat on a plate.
Got it.
Right?
I get it.
Half a plate of vegetables and maybe a fourth of grain or no grain, right? Especially when you're eating meat, you want to make sure you get leafy greens, all of that stuff. Those are the most important things to me. Some people are meat eaters. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, man.
So you just teach people moderation. You teach people that because we're having steaks tonight does not mean everyone has to have a steak. Like I take 2 steaks and feed 8 people.
Really?
So it's people, yeah, it's teaching people serving size, and it's like it goes back to so I do the grocery shopping. I make the plates. I literally control the food in the house, which is important. If you got everybody going in there grabbing everything all the time, then you might not be able to run a tight kitchen. But if you take steaks and you cook them, and you slice them very thin, which helps with digestion. You don't want
Yeah.
some big thing. And give everybody a few slices and fix them a full plate. When
Yeah.
they finish that whole plate, they won't want any more steak.
Yeah, that because they fulfill with the leafy greens and different things on nature, especially the grains. That's mission critical. Man,
Mm-hmm.
something that just stood out is when you said serving size. I laughed because I'll give you so Nadia, she will go to work and come home and cook full meals, and I'm going to bed on a full stomach. So you laugh, and I know. So I start it's and I can't say I'm not gonna eat. I'll eat in the morning. I tried when we first started, but now it's like no, you gotta eat. So I'll eat these heavy meals, and now I got a gut problem. You know, and I will always laugh because I'd be like, hey man, portion control. And I used to eat. I just got like a bottle in my stomach. I would keep eating. To go back to what you were saying when it comes to taste, I would miss a certain taste, and it would make me. Let's just say I got turned out in food in Chicago. I was a vegetarian. The first piece of meat that I had was jerk chicken. I never had jerk chicken in my life. Changed my life.
What?
Yes. Then after I had jerk chicken, I had something called greasing chicken from the Greeks in different towns and different things. I was devouring things, and no sooner that happened, I found myself with a gut problem, like you said. So that's why I'm asking so many questions around that when it comes to the health. And you've been very thorough in explaining it. So most likely, we probably gonna hire you after this. So we're gonna discuss that offline. But serving size and being able to serve your family. So I could imagine during different holidays, you probably are the one saying, "Hey, here is the menu for the holiday. Do you guys
In
agree?"
this family, I'm
Yeah.
still a child.
Oh,
I don't get
really?
to do
You don't
that
make the
yet. So
decisions.
my dad's generation still cooks everything and makes
Ah,
everything, organizes everything. So I just have to show up, and they're very inclusive because some of my cousins are vegetarian, or so they make sure everyone has something.
yes.
Um, but I fuss at them. Like today, my dad would cook with aluminum foil, and I was like, "Don't use that." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "You're gonna be forgetting your name and your children's name." So anyway,
That's because the metals
I
in the body from it.
the aluminum gets in your food as you cook with it. So you should use parchment paper. Parchment paper doesn't. It just has a wax over it. It's not flammable.
I think I've seen it
That's
before. It kind of looked like some. I can't really. It's kind of look like some like if you was writing on a
I'll
poster
send you
board, right?
something when we finish. Yeah, I'll send you something when we finish. I have something explaining all of it. So what you were saying, you had a bottomless stomach. Certain foods, processed foods, sugars, mess up your satiety signals. Satiety is like when you feel full.
Got it.
So as you eat more junk, it causes you to be able to continue eating and continue consuming because your mind and your stomach aren't connected, and it doesn't say, "Hey, you're full, stop." Um, Now with you having the heavy meals, here's my advice because you can't say no, I won't eat.
Hmm.
What you can do is buy some green tea
Hmm.
and drink green tea after your heavy meal.
Before
Hot
bed,
tea, so
but that's
before bed.
before bed. That's not gonna keep me up.
Green tea, no. Black
Yeah.
tea, yes.
Oh,
There are
okay.
only
Yeah,
two
yeah, yeah.
types of teas for the most part: green teas or black teas.
Got it.
Green tea help with digesting, breaking things down, and then people drink cold water, and I'll go all over the place. So catch me. People drink cold water, and what cold water does is makes everything in your gut solidify. Oils, grease. You need
Yeah,
something
sluggish.
warm to
Room
catch everything.
temperature. Room temperature water, right?
That's right, when you're
Yeah.
drinking water. But you definitely need something hot at least twice a day, just to keep
Really?
everything moving. I have a tea recipe I'll send you, but it's just a straight daily tea that I make, and it's like turmeric and ginger, cayenne pepper. Honey is optional, but it's just a tea that makes you. It pulls everything out. It makes sure you stay
Got it.
because it makes sure you stay regular. It makes sure you're
Cause
you're
I
pushing
heard that.
everything through. Yeah.
I heard that your gut can have up to 25 pounds or no 22 pounds of just bad stuff just sitting there. And it's
Yeah.
man, that's let me ask you this, because it's something that just came to mind here. And I like to tie health into your mental health. And when I say mental health, meaning if you are eating well, different things of that nature, it lets you perform at a higher level, no matter if you're thinking, like when it comes to your cognitive skills, when it comes to you just being able to move and, you know, perform at a high level, no matter if it's thinking, no matter if you're out in the field and it requires a lot of hard labor, if you're in the warehouse, different things of that nature. How do you communicate that benefit, to your clients, especially? Or
I
let me retract that. The better question, Paige, is how do you change the way you prep for them based on their industry and how they work? Like, so for me, I don't require a lot of physical layer. I mean, physical layer. I'm thinking OSI layer. I don't require a lot of physical work. I don't require a lot of physical work. However, I like to be at peak when I'm actually thinking. I'm more of an analytical guy. So would you change the way their prep, based on the industry?
unless they're like a sumo wrestler or something. No.
Really?
I think men require more calories than women. Yes.
Okay.
To live and thrive. So that's proven. But like noticeable changes, no. People won't believe what you just said about energy and performance until they feel it. So you
Oh
can
yeah.
say, hey, if you eat this way, you're gonna feel this. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose. At least try. And then once they feel it, they like. And there's
Yeah.
some people who have never eaten well, so they wake up every morning and they feel a certain way. Their back hurts, their stomach is
Yeah.
sick, and they don't even know. Like you could wake up every morning and feel light and feel nice.
Yeah, that's the telltale sign. If you waking up, if you waking up and you don't have energy, something's wrong in the body. That should be your trigger. That definitely should be your trigger. Um, Before we wrap things up, I want to ask you this: if you had to throw out five, let's make it three. Let's make it three. You can go over three if you want to. Let's make it three. What's three things that you think everyone needs to be or adhere to when it comes to their health? Or I like to say, what are your three rules for success? No matter if it's your health, no matter if it's just life, give me three gems that you follow based on your beliefs, your norms, and your values now versus, when you first started your journey, different things of that nature. I was
Um,
thinking, I was saying in a long way so you can think a little bit.
um, I'm responsible for everything in my life that happens in my life.
Yes,
Um, Action cures everything,
nice.
and momentum matters.
Oh, I like that last one. That momentum matters.
I
I
think they could
have,
apply to everything.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that portion when it comes to momentum because it's mission critical to, let's say this. I've been trying to get my family involved in different business endeavors that I have going on. And the hardest thing is really getting them started. But once they get started and it aligns with their dreams and their goals, they're like, oh, I should have been did this. So creating that is pretty much giving that hoorah speech to get them going. But at the same time, it goes back to what you said early on, doing an 8-week program, because at 21 days I know you have that habits, you got a
Hmm.
routine, different things of that nature. But if you execute at a high level for 60 days, oh, you're gonna be locked in, you're gonna be performing at peak. Oh man, so I love that, I love that there. um Paige, if
Hmm.
people want to reach out to you, they want to find you, what avenues do you want them to reach out to? Is it LinkedIn? Is it IG? Do you want them to go to your Facebook? Do you want them to email you? Give us something where they can reach out to you, because I don't want to use all my free consultation, but I want people to be able to reach out to you and leverage your service.
I have two places they can go. Old place is at What's Eating Page, What's Eating, and PAGE. There's no I in my name.
Hmm.
And I have a new concept called Black Mama. So it's BLK at BLKMAMA. There is not much there yet, but that is where the future is going, and that's where generational health info, products, all of that will be going.
I need that. You got a shirt? Because I need you to, when you put that generational health on that shirt, I need that. I promise you. Because when I'm doing my interviews, I want to have that on. I ain't never heard of that before. You better make
All
sure
right.
you call. You better make sure you coin that as well.
How do I coin something? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we got to trademark that. We got to get that in there. I don't even want to put out this video yet until you at least put, secure it. All right. So we have those avenues. I like the last one when you said the BLK Mama, MAMA. And you let the
Yeah.
foundation, sit there and saying, hey, it's in a skeleton form right now, but in the future, in about 3 to 6 months, you will start to see different things unwind. And the fact that, Paige is in the early stages of this, I'm pretty sure I am going to advocate hard for myself to be one of her test students. So, well, I'm not. Look, y'all, I'm not trying to say I'm penny pinching or anything of that nature, but I just want to make sure she's successful so she can have someone to, especially a guy where she can test different things of that nature and all that. So you can see the before and results because I'm really serious about my health and it's something I really focus on. But the reason why I mention that is because she's early on, she's probably going to be looking for individuals to test outside of this Atlanta market as well, especially people who are virtual as well, clients as well. So, Paige, we appreciate your time this evening. Stay safe. And I hate to say stay healthy because that's my punchline, but I already know you healthy there. So I want to do a part two when you get everything going, especially when it comes to your menus and different things of that nature which you're offering. So we'll get you back on here and we'll make sure we get all of her contact information in the description. And then even if you want to reach out to her again, like I said, we'll have that information in the description. But outside of that, appreciate your time. Like I said, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll be in contact with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.